of your kiss sends me in orbit, twisting, turning out of my control. So glad you found me, my Aphrodite. Bliss is burning deep inside my soul. Not this time, this rhyme is all about you, girl. Something tells me I'm in love with you. Open up the door and say hello now. Not expecting me, expecting you. Two hearts beat as one. The inquiry is done. I found emotion through your devotion. You bring me to life. Never had anyone, found anyone, thought anyone loved someone like me. Someone like me, girl. Two hearts beat as one. The inquiry is done. I found emotion through your devotion. You bring me to life. Never had anyone, found anyone, thought anyone loved someone like me. Someone like me, girl. Two hearts beat as one. The inquiry is done. I found emotion through your devotion. You bring me to life. Never had anyone, found anyone, thought anyone loved someone like me. Drive alone on a road that no one knows. I used to run from the things that couldn't change. It's been a while since I let it bring me down. And lately I've been taking myself out. Letting go of who I used to be. Wave goodbye to all.
Hey guys, happy Friday.
Hey gang, how's everyone doing tonight on Friday night here before the big storm?
Yes, it's going to be a nasty storm
Be a
tomorrow.
nor'easter, baby, coming through. Good day
Can't
to sit in
wait.
the house, binge watch television,
Yeah,
and
who
eat
is it?
pizza.
Yeah, tell them.
That's what
It's
we're gonna do, right,
Son
honey?
of the Digger.
We're gonna eat pizza.
He's
tomorrow.
wearing his Son of a Digger shirt. There you are. See you there?
Who's it?
Who's that? Is that Monkey? Tell them that that's Monkey. We have our grandson in the house tonight. He is very needy tonight, so. Yeah, is that your monkey? Yes, yeah, that's the keyboard. I see we have Larry in the house.
Whoa, what's up, Larry?
Hope you're doing well. We're doing good. We had a good week, I guess. Just sharing this out for anybody that might want to check us out. We do have, well, we did have events coming up, yes, tomorrow, but everything has been canceled due to the storm. So this is,
Show everybody.
hold it up.
Hold it up to the camera. Monster.
Hold it up to the camera. We have coming up October 8th is Back to Livingren Day. There's going to be lots of events for the kids, face painting and all that. There's going to be cornhole, trunk or treat,
Live music.
live music. Pappy will be
And
DJing
DJ music. They're going to be a band.
and a band.
That's
And
live music.
let's see, face painting. I'm trying to. So
Hard to read.
there's going to be a lot of things for children to do. There's going to be tables. We will have a table there. I will also have a table for the parent group. Actually, we will. It's a hat. Yes, we'll be doing the. I'll be doing the table at the Livingren table, as well as my table. So come out and check us out. That's on October 8th. 12 o'clock to whatever time it ends. I can't really see the end time. So our Lane has it. So.
We're a family-oriented show, as you can notice.
But feel free to come out if you are in the Bucks County area. It is at the Livingren Ben Salem main
What's up,
campus.
John? Welcome to the show, John.
And the Ben Salem campus, and I believe they have the buses. So I'm thinking you're going to park at the high school like they normally do, and then they'll bus you back and forth to your car when you're ready to go. The buses run all day long, so don't.
It's a van. It's the druggy buggy.
The druggy buggy will be picking you up and dropping you off. But it's a good time. It's a really nice time. The kids have a blast. The kids run around and just enjoy the day. And that's, and that's really nice because the children, are
No, that's not my name for it. That's what it's called.
but that's, the kids are always affected by this. So it's nice that we can let the kids just have a good time and fun.
Wait a minute. Eric is in the house already.
I
Is everything
know.
okay?
Well, I did
He must have
share
took
it out.
He must have took a nap this afternoon.
He
Welcome,
was,
Eric. Good to have you.
He was at
early.
the top of the list this morning
Probably doing
because
calisthenics.
probably. But no, it's a good time, and it's something that you can do with your kids, which whether you're in early recovery, it kind of stinks because you haven't seen your kids or done much with the kids during your treatment process. So it's great day to just let your kids have fun. So really I can't say enough to check it out. It's a great time. And let's see. Yeah, everything's canceled Saturday. We had the ProAct walk on Saturday, but that was canceled due to the weather. We have a tropical storm hitting tomorrow. I think actually this morning. I think it's starting at 4 a.m. So
So batten down the hatches, people.
yeah, the wind's been here all day. So, it's been crazy. So just kind of,
All right, so I think tonight we're going to go right into chapter 11 in our workbook for Smart Recovery.
yes.
And chapter 11 is Healthy Boundaries Part 2.
Thank you.
What's the dimensions there, Mr. Contractor? Boy loves tools.
Yes,
Not a
he
matter of
does,
that.
and he's learning. He is like a sponge with, what's that? What's that? What's that? He wants to know everything, and then you tell him what it is, and then he's repeating it. He's just really sponging up
Got a
all of his.
photographic memory. He's right.
Yeah, he's funny. So tonight is healthy boundaries part 2, protecting your boundaries. Yes, it's school night, Eric.
There may be a pop quiz at the end. No cheat sheets.
What are your choices if you have identified and communicated a boundary with your loved one and you are ignored? We are each responsible for protecting our own boundaries. In other words, if asking nicely isn't getting the result you wanted, you have a choice to make. Back off and choose to live with the behavior, or move on to the next phase of boundary work. Boundary protection, your choice, no matter what it is, influences the likelihood of your loved one choosing to respect your boundaries or not. What message do you send to your loved one when you communicate a boundary and then protect it when crossed? What message do you send to your loved one when you communicate a boundary and then fail to protect it when it is crossed? If you choose to protect your boundaries, how can you do this in an effective and respectful way? This section on healthy boundaries, part 2, is a guide to finding your own answers to these questions.
Yeah, there's some good points there. I mean, don't set a boundary that you don't feel that you can stick with.
Right. And again, if you go on to smartrecovery.org, this is the book we are reading from. It is Family and Friends Handbook. You can find that right on the smartrecovery.org resources and go down to the store. They also have one for somebody that is in recovery. So if you have a loved one that is struggling and active, if you have somebody that is coming out of treatment, I suggest going on that page and look up the resources. There's so many videos, there's so many things that you can find on there that will help you, and you might be able to maybe make a purchase of a book for the person that is in recovery so they can pick it up at their leisure and see if they like it. So just a suggestion.
And there was another tip was, when making your boundaries, we have a little saying that someone told us years ago. It says, say what you mean what you say, just don't say it mean.
And I'll be right back. I'm getting a drink.
That was from a good friend of ours, a therapist, the Miss Dana Cohen. That's her saying. I'm stealing it. Lori's getting a cold drink of water from the fridge there. So you got me, people. Yeah, a few more people are tuning in there. It's what is today the last day of summer, or yesterday it's the first day of fall, or
Today's the first
day of fall. Oh my goodness, but that summer flew by, didn't it?
Yes.
But it was a hot one.
Yes.
It really was.
It was. The end especially was really bad.
Yeah, it was hot from day one till the end. It's like the first really comfortable night there tonight.
Yeah.
It's nice out there.
It is nice out there if you don't mind wind.
I don't mind wind.
So, we'll get into the chapter. Boundaries require protection to be effective. In a perfect world, everyone communicates their boundaries calmly and clearly, and those around them respect their request for appropriate behavior, and they all live happily ever after. Formula for communicating a boundary request. Inform when you do your behavior, I feel my reaction. Request. Can I ask you to stop or change this behavior? Since we don't live in a perfect world, others sometimes do choose to disregard our boundary requests, and the inappropriate behavior continues. If this happens, it may be beneficial to clearly and calmly restate a boundary request several times over a period of days or weeks. Reminder: boundaries communicated to a loved one who is intoxicated may not be heard or remembered.
Yeah,
And-
that's definitely a good tip there. I mean, I say any of your important conversations with your loved one regarding anything, if they're intoxicated, just wait till they have a little more clarity. You're wasting your time. Mm-hmm. You really are. I mean,
And to be
And-
quite
and-
honest, even if it's, somebody that you're just dealing with that isn't, active in their use, it could be the next door neighbor. Getting across your point when they're pissed off, it shuts down. So whether they're intoxicated or high, or the anger is there, it's just not a good time to really approach that,
yeah.
because it's not going to be heard.
No, and their patience is thin, and your patience gets thin, and it just becomes a very unconstructive conversation. Pretty much a destructive conversation.
Eric says the camera is tilted, messing with my OCD.
I'm afraid if I touch it, it'll fall.
You'll
I
have-
actually, the
you'll have to
studio is tilted.
yeah,
We've had a lot of rain.
yeah, we're on a hill. So
I can see it from here.
since we don't live in a perfect world, others sometimes do choose to disregard. Never mind. If a boundary is continually ignored,
Any better, Eric?
even after repeated requests, then
Whoa.
we have a responsibility to ourselves to protect the boundary, not just one time, but every time. From now on, remember, actions speak louder than words. Consistency of our actions is the best way to protect a boundary. Formula for communicating a planned protective action if a boundary request continues to be ignored. Here is the formula. When you do your behavior, I feel my reaction. Request: can I ask you to stop or change this behavior? And that's the same one from above. Inform: if you are not willing to stop or change this behavior, I will need to take protective action. Protective action is your boundary. This is your boundary. This isn't about them. This is about, our boundary, what keeps us healthy while the loved one is, struggling with their use. So, keep,
And it's good wording. It's not infuriating or whatever.
Right.
Take protective action. Like, how do you come back at that? Mm-hmm. Instead of saying, or I'll have to take the appropriate action, then it sounds like a threat. Mm-hmm. By watching your wording and change your wording, there's just skills you learn in this course. It's able to disarm so to speak, all the hostility in the conversation just by the wording you use.
Right,
It was
exactly.
confrontational.
So, example, inform. When you raise your voice, it hurts me and it scares the children. Request. I've asked you several times over the last few weeks to speak in a normal volume when you talk to me or the kids, but nothing has changed. Inform. From now on, when you raise your voice, the kids and I will go to Grandma's for the evening. And that's just, adhering to your boundary, because it's about you. It's not about them and what they're doing. It's about how you react to their behavior. So, keeping it positive. In really significant boundary conversations, when you are confronting someone about a serious problem. Example, I'm concerned that your drinking is out of control. It can be helpful to set the tone for the conversation by starting off with positive statements that affirm and validate how important your relationship with other person is. Here's the example. John, I want you to know that the reason I'm bringing this up is because I love you and I am committed to our relationship. I love and value so many things about you. In fact, that is why I have to talk to you about this. And that is like the key to starting in the positive direction. Protective action.
You're welcome, Eric.
Yes, you got your trucks. When first learning about boundaries, family and friends sometimes confuse actions needed to protect a boundary with making a choice to punish the loved one for their actions. It may be helpful to recall that Getting Your Loved One Sober, that is the book that they recommend you reading along with this, does not recommend punishment and points out that punishments often backfire. Instead, they suggest a simple and powerful action for protecting your boundary. Disengage, remove yourself from the situation. In many cases, some variation of disengage is sufficient and communicate the seriousness of your boundary request. The first time you find yourself communicating your plan to take protective actions, you may not have had time to decide what you are going to do. In that case, you may just state calmly, matter-of-factly, if you're not willing to do this, I'll need to make some decisions about what I'm going to do. And again, it's putting it back on you. And it's keeping us where we need to be in our healthy lifestyle. So here is planning a boundary request. Using the boundary request formula, inform, request, inform. Plan a boundary request for each of the following scenarios. When my loved one is actively engaged with her addiction, she is disagreeable and unpleasant to be around, or she's passed out. In response, I waver between anger, despair, and sadness. So these are the situations that you can come into, and you have to determine how you want to continue to respond to that, so that you're not attacking them or going after them. When my loved one is actively engaged with his addiction, he often fails to show up for things we have planned and sometimes disappears for hours or days at a time. In response, I feel frustrated and hurt at his disrespectful behaviors. And, how do you respond to that is, what, first of all, deciding ahead of time your reaction, because this is a planned event.
And this is a pretty common behavior, as you'll notice. I mean, you'll have something planned, and who knows, for whatever reason, when it comes time, they're a no-show. Perhaps, they got too much anxiety at the last minute, and they just don't want to deal with it. But they're not willing to call out of consideration, say, hey, I'm not going to, they just don't show up. And
Right.
that's pretty common behavior.
Right.
Not
It
good
is.
behavior, but it's very common.
When my loved one is actively using, he sometimes steals from me. In response, I feel angry and so sad, knowing that he cannot be trusted. That's a major issue when, you have somebody active in your life. Like, how do you respond to that? Especially if it's a spouse. They're taking from the home, and it's affecting the whole household, and you have to find a way to point it out to them. Like, it's not affecting just them, it's affecting the whole house. I wish my wife did not drink so much when I am at work. I know she sometimes drinks until she's passed out. I am scared that she cannot wake up when the baby is crying, or that my older child will not be able to wake her and will think that she is dead. I wish she would not drink with the kids around. And that's going to be difficult, talking to a spouse, letting them know that, you're concerned for your children's safety, because they're going to get their back up in the air because...
And John points out the benefits of stop drinking. He's now able to buy more radios.
Yes, one addiction for another. Some people buy sneakers, and John buys radios. So these are just really some examples of some of the situations that a lot of us go through when we're dealing with a loved one. So it's up to us to, think before we speak and know that this is an upcoming event. So I need to be prepared. I know it's Friday night. I know that they went out after work, and I know they've had a few cocktails and they get very mean. And so it's going to happen every Friday night. So you have to come up with a plan that it takes you out of that situation, of that confrontation. And just say, hey, I understand you went out and you had a great time, and I'm happy for you, but I'm going to my room and watch television or read, or I'm going to visit my parents or something, just to take you out of that confrontational situation. So, let's see what's next. Role of boundaries in healthy relationships. Healthy relationships happen when we actively and consistently respect each other's rights and preferences. They are based on equality and mutual respect. They are based on healthy boundaries. All relationships have boundaries, and when they are respected, the need for continual reminders about those boundaries is rarely necessary. But when problems arise, such as addiction and the behaviors that come with it, it becomes necessary to make the boundaries clear. It becomes necessary to let the other person know that their behavior is disrespectful or harmful, and that you don't want it to continue. Some examples of behavior that you may find unacceptable. Loved one, borrowing money he cannot or do not pay back. Loved ones expecting financial support from you while she spends her money on the addiction. Loved one lying in any way to cover up the truth of his activities. Loved one taking long absences or putting lives at risk by drinking and driving. My boundaries cannot make you do anything. As much as we want our loved one to stop the behaviors related to the addiction, it's important to understand that the purpose of boundaries is not to punish the other person or manipulate them into change. The truth is that one person's boundary cannot make another person change. It may give them good reason to choose to change, but they retain their own power of choice. We may not like it if they choose not to change, but we would do well to accept that they have a right to choose for themselves. Our power of choice includes our ability to let others know how their behaviors are impacting us and to offer them a chance to stop the damage to our relationship before it is too late, before things get to a point where we have to build a wall instead of a boundary. We do this by taking responsibility for calmly, clearly, and consistently communicating our boundaries. Walls are for keeping people out. Hopefully, with effective, healthy boundaries, you won't find yourself needing walls to keep our loved ones out of your life. Reminder, protecting your boundaries is not a way to punish others or manipulate them into complying with your wishes. It is not a sign of disrespect for others' needs. It is a sign of respect for yourself and for the relationship. And that's the most important thing, is to remember that these boundaries, are not there to, sounds like an episode of the Brady Bunch.
Feels like an episode of the Brady Bunch. Where the hell's Alice?
Yeah.
Alice, get this kid.
But it is, that's the most important thing, is knowing that we need to take control of ourselves. And, by setting those boundaries, a lot of times they see that, maybe I do need to change. Yes.
What's it there?
What is it?
Hammer.
Hammers, yes.
See, when he sees us parading out to the studio, he has to come out with us, or he will drive his mother absolutely crazy.
Yes.
He has to be out here when Daddy's out here or we're out here. He loves it out here for some reason.
He likes to play with all the things that are sitting
Dangerous.
around. Yeah, usually dangerous. But when we build our boundaries, it's just a matter of us just keeping ourselves and our sanity in check. It's not to hurt the person, it's just to make them see that, their choices are hurting us and making a chaotic situation for the whole family. So yes, that's one of the things that we really need to work on. So boundaries, an antidote for enabling. Disable the enabling. As discussed in section 10, fixing, protecting, and nagging are not helpful and often have the effect of enabling or allowing the addiction to continue. If the communication in our relationship with our loved one has deteriorated to the point where we are frequently nagging, pleading, and arguing, we may want to choose a different method of communicating, especially since these methods have been shown to contribute to an environment that enables the addiction. It is not easy to change communication styles, but it can be done. We can learn to communicate in a different way. And that is so important, and I say it all the time. We need to practice. Practice, practice, practice. And that could be, talking to yourself in the mirror and
Make sure you
and
close the bathroom door when you do that, or you look like a total
tool.
fool.
Right there.
Jeju, yeah. Yeah, that's the drum set. I don't think you want to be out there. Yeah. So, you don't want to, do this without practicing. You can practice this on anybody and anybody that you are, communicating with. And, nunchucks. But that's important. Positive communication, assertive communication, and boundaries are effective tools we can use to communicate honestly and clearly. They are tools we can use instead of nagging, pleading, and arguing to let others in our lives know what behaviors are acceptable and which are not acceptable to us. Rather than the drama of nagging, pleading, and threatening, we can use these tools to show our loved one clearly, calmly, and consistently that his behavior is not acceptable, and then we leave it up to him to decide what, if anything, he wants to do about it. In other words, by communicating our boundaries, we meet our responsibility for disabling the enabling and allow our loved one to become fully responsible for the problem. And that's not an easy task. And in the beginning, they're going to look at you like you have two heads.
That's the way my stepfather looked at me when he caught me singing in the mirror with a hairbrush when I was like 17.
Yeah.
He looked at me like I had two heads. I still remember that look he gave me. I was kind of mortified.
So,
I don't remember what I was singing.
yeah. Screwdriver. So just keep trying it, and that's they may not feel comfortable with it in the beginning, but the more you communicate that those issues with them, maybe they'll start to see the need for change. And trust me, it's not going to be the next day. It's going to take a while. Change is difficult for a lot of people. So just be patient. Hurt versus harm. Enabling behaviors and addiction have something in common. Both are quick fix, short-term solutions. They have the desired effect, minimizing pain or discomfort, but only in the short term, and they have negative long-term consequences. Yes, there is often some discomfort, hurt involved in protecting boundaries that your loved one is ignoring. Whatever action you have chosen to take in order to protect your boundary, usually disengaging in some way, can be painful for your loved one. It may also be painful for you. However, the action you take to protect your boundaries, as uncomfortable as it feels in the moment, is minor compared to the lasting harm that is caused by addiction. Like someone with addiction, you have a choice. Continue on the path of short-term gratification or take the more difficult but more rewarding path to a long-term recovery. The chief cause of failure and unhappiness is trading what you want most for what you want right now. Zig Ziglar.
I always wish I had a cool name like Zig.
Yeah, or Spartacus.
That's a badass name, but she wouldn't let me name my son that.
No.
Who messed with a kid named Spartacus? Nobody.
So there's 5 steps to establish healthy boundaries. in order to establish healthy boundaries between yourself and others. Identify the symptoms of your boundaries currently being or having been violated or ignored. Some symptoms to look for: anger, frustration, feeling powerless or hopeless. Example: my partner is often late for dinner and I'm sick and tired of eating alone. Take responsibility for your own upsets. Identify the irrational or unhealthy thinking and beliefs which are fueling any high drama, anger, frustration, anxiety, and sadness you are experiencing over the behaviors. The ABC tool, section 4, and exchange vocabulary, section 3, can be very helpful for this. And that's the nice thing. Like, this is what I really enjoy about this program, is the way they chart things and put it in black and white, so that it helps you see more of where you need to get more educated and practice. So, identify new, more rational, healthy thinking and beliefs. Rational, healthy thinking will lead to less anger and frustration in your life and put you in a better position to communicate your boundaries calmly, clearly, and consistently. He's fine. Example: rather than staying quiet in order to avoid conflict, I will stand up for myself so that my loved one can learn to respect my rights and my needs in the relationship. Identify any new skills. Example: assertive communication. You want to work on in order to sustain healthy boundaries between you and your loved one. The key word there is sustain. Like fences, personal boundaries require maintenance. Implement healthy boundary building beliefs and behaviors in your life. Healthy boundary building behaviors: managing the need for approval, managing fear of rejection, improving assertive communication skills, developing self-control, setting goals. So, healthy boundary beliefs, boundary building beliefs. I have the right to ask for what I want. I have the right to have my needs and wants respected by others. I have the right to be treated with dignity and respect. I have the right to be happy. I have the right to express all of my feelings, positive or negative. I have the right to follow my own values and standards. I have the right not to be responsible for my loved one's behaviors, actions, feelings, or problems. I have the right to expect honesty from others. I have the right not to give excuses or reasons for my behavior. I have the right to make decisions based on my feelings. I have the right to be in non-abusive environment. I have the right to feel safe in my own home. This is adapted from Dr. James J. Messina's Healthy Boundaries at www.copingus. So, get those boundaries and see, what you deserve in life and how do you get that. Tips for setting boundaries. Remember why we make boundary requests. Boundary requests are an effective way to say, this is important to me. Please pay attention. Boundary requests are not a way to punish your loved one for unwanted behavior. Start small. Build up your boundary skills by starting with small requests delivered to others, not your loved one, to gain experience and confidence. And that's so important. Again, it could be anything. Like fences, boundaries need maintenance. I like that. That's from Eric. So do I. That's probably the biggest step that we can take, is taking those little small moments to practice, and with somebody other than our loved one. Maybe your boss. Delivery. Boundaries are best delivered using positive and assertive, not aggressive communication. Consider using the PIUS communication model described, Chapter 9 of
He plagiarized that.
Yes, he did. Described in Chapter 9 of Get Your Loved Ones Sober. Timing. Boundary requests benefit from being planned ahead of time. They are best shared with your loved one when you are feeling calm and clear, and when your loved one is sober. And that's so important, because what we tend to do is forget all of that when we're angry. We just forget to find that calm place. And we can do that by, doing other things when we know that Friday night they're not coming home because they're out with their friends at the bar. We do that by finding, other things to do. Go out with your girlfriends, go shopping, go to a movie, just, go out to dinner with your friends. That's so important, that you take yourself out of that to remain calm, instead of sitting there and stewing because they're still not home, dinner's made, and now it's cold, you've eaten by yourself. So find other things to do. You want to make dinner, you eat, put it away, and let them find it. But, that's what you need to do. You need to do yourself. 3 C's of boundary communication. Be calm, be clear, be consistent. Calm. Boundaries are best delivered respectfully and matter-of-factly. Clear, straightforward communication without extraneous explaining. Consistent. Stay on message and follow through with your plan to protect your boundaries as needed every single time. Prepare to be challenged. And this is where we kind of fall short, because we forget that, these are our choices, these are our boundaries. Expect some pushback, but kind of play it out in your head before you start the conversation, because it can either go one or two ways, a positive response, or they're going to be looking for a fight. You have to play out both of those scenarios when you're thinking of this. Prepare to be challenged. Your loved one may verbally challenge your boundary, claiming it is unfair or harsh. Your boundaries represent your personal preferences. You have a right to hold and express personal preferences, and you are not obligated to defend their merits. Remember that boundaries are clear communication about what you want and what you intend to do to protect the boundary if it is not honored. Your loved one has a choice to honor your request or not. Attempts to argue with you Attempts to argue with you about the merits of your boundary may be best deferred by simply repeating the boundary calmly, clearly, and consistently. And that's the one thing that you have to prepare yourself for, that they may not want to listen to your boundary, and they're going to continue to choose to do what they want to do. And when you get into that situation again, consistently, repeat that boundary. Listen, you said you'd be home Friday and not go out, and you did. My boundary was I went out with my friends. I chose to go upstairs and read a book or, watch television. I chose not to, continue to do what I always did, sit and wait and be angry. Plan to protect the boundary. Your loved one may forget your boundary request or may not take it seriously. Know that this is relatively common and be prepared to follow through on your plan to protect your boundary as needed every single time. And that, that's going to take some time. That's going to take a lot of practice. Lead by example. Model the kind of behavior you expect. For example, if you don't want your son or daughter to take drugs at home, don't use drugs or alcohol yourself. If you don't want your spouse to drink, don't drink yourself. And that's what we have to be really cautious of, especially when our loved ones are in early recovery. Because not everybody in the family may be affected by this disease. Be mindful that in especially early recovery, that can be something that they struggle with.
And even though that's not our problem, that's a sacrifice we have to make, especially in early recovery. I mean, I know you're not going to want to hear that, but it's like lead by example. It's kind of hard for someone not to be drinking in the house and everybody being around and surrounded them drinking, especially in early recovery. Down the road, when they have some sobriety under their belt
and they've learned their
and they're
tools.
stronger, I mean, it's another story. But in early recovery, it's just the right thing to do.
Yes. And, and a lot of people are like, well, that's their problem.
Right.
And you just have to be...
Well, it's a family disease, and it's got to be a family team effort to conquer it. It really does.
Yes.
Everyone's got to get on board.
Yes.
And we all have to make some little sacrifices.
Right. And, if you're having an event at your home that you normally would have alcohol at, just... put in your invitation or whatever, this is going to be an alcohol-free event. Like, warn them, because you never know what's going to be coming through that gate or that door for that event. Somebody may bring a whole, cooler full of, beers and Jell-O shots, thinking, oh, I'll bring this. And so let them know.
Or I can't say the name. Or them that things used to blow.
Sucking blows.
I didn't want to say it. She put these things on Amazon one time. Oh my God, it was terrible.
Yes,
You
they
like,
were funny.
You like blow a Jell-O shot out of this big
Tube.
acrylic tube to another person. It was terrible. Terrible.
So respect is a two-way street. Your loved one has boundaries too. Honoring your loved one's boundaries sets the tone in the relationship and increases the likelihood that your loved one will respect your boundary request. And I can't say that enough. When you are setting your boundaries, also make it so that there is some room for their boundary as well. So listen, you want to go out drinking on Friday night with your friends, I want you home by 12 o'clock. And they'll be like, no, we don't. The bar closes at 2. We're gonna go. I'll be out till 2, and it's like, well, if that's your choice, then I need to, continue to set my boundary. How about if we make it, 12:30? Just kind of play with little things until you make them feel like they're part of that decision making. I think that is very important for loved ones, whether it's friends, whether it's your child, what have you. Always letting them feel that they have some kind of control with that too. But don't go, okay, we'll do 1:00. No, if in your head you'll give them till 12:30, but when you set that boundary, like you have to be home by 12. We're going to be home by 12 and that's it. And when they say, well, no, 1:00, that's when you throw like, okay, I won't go past 12:30. That's it. And you have to stick to it. And that's important.
Haggling. It's haggling. It's like you're at a flea market or something.
Yeah, but it is. It gives them a chance to feel that they had some kind of say in that situation. So.
And that's just a nice way to say it. It makes them feel like they're getting over on the situation.
Right.
And they're in control. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, you're behind the scenes manipulating the whole outcome.
But
like haggling.
Yeah. And use these techniques when you're at work with somebody, because I know how the drama can be in an office atmosphere or anywhere that you're working. It's, you have to take these tools that you're learning and, try them out with somebody that you're having a problem with at work and see how you can manipulate that to, change both of your relationships. So I highly suggest that, and highly suggest, if you're dealing with a child that is in active use, you and your spouse go back and forth and try and practice, good cop, bad cop, and see how, you can add these tools in to help, just gear the conversation into a more positive way.
Eric, should I ask her when she's 10 feet tall?
I love Eric. He's so funny.
He is a hoot.
He is a hoot and a how. So if anybody out there is struggling, please don't hesitate to either call or pop in the comment. If you are able to comment and would like to say, hey, Joe Bag of Donuts, I'm in whatever, I found your, feed this way, that would be awesome. If you like what you're seeing and hearing, please like, share, and
where's
subscribe.
our friend from the other side of the pond? Are you out there, or what is it, New Zealand or Australia, the zombie serial guy?
Yeah, well, remember that it was 3:00 in the morning. He may not have been able to sleep that night, so.
Well, come on this show. We'll put you to sleep.
But no, I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to help. And if you guys have anything that you want to add to what you heard tonight, please feel free to share.
Yeah,
You
we're
can
always
give
looking
us
for
a call.
topics. Like we always ask, you got a topic you want us to cover?
Yes.
We've been working the book here, the Smart Recovery book, because we really like it. We use it in some of our other meetings. Mm-hmm. It's kind of our go-to.
And it's a struggle. Learning boundaries, how to set it, and keeping calm is really hard when you're pissed off.
It takes a lot of, tenacity to do it. I mean, we're so afraid to set a boundary or anything
Yeah.
for fear of the pushback that may,
Exactly.
come from it.
Yeah.
We're always on eggshells with our loved one. We're afraid to do anything, afraid to say anything. God forbid they'll get angry, they'll relapse because of us making them angry.
Yeah.
Nah.
Or, oh my God, I can't say that to them because then they're going to leave, and then what do I do?
Right, right.
They'll be homeless, or oh my gosh, they'll go back to their parents. And
They know
you
you.
know.
They know what you're going to do. They know you're going to cave in.
so
Because addicts are not stupid people. They are master manipulators. They're very
Yes.
calculating,
yes,
and they're very diabolical, and they're very smart. Mm-hmm. It's because they made poor choices in the beginning and have turned into an addiction. It doesn't make them any less smart.
exactly.
They had all the time in the world to come up with these masterful stories. Mm-hmm. Whew, boy, some of them are book worthy.
Yeah, and there's just some things like in the Smart Recovery. I don't know if it's in this one or not, but like they don't do the 12-step program because one of the first ones, I'm powerless over it, and they don't believe you're powerless over addiction. You just don't know how to go about getting the power to
I got
recover.
power.
They also feel like you're in recovery for all of your life, like you're cured. And you're not. So this is why sometimes I love so many different parts of different programs, because you pull from what you like, and that just like you go to a support group, you hear things being said and talked about, and you don't have to agree with it, just like the Bible. Like, I don't do religion, but because of the Bible, there's so many different interpretations of the Bible. That's why we have so many different religions. Same book, different takes on it, And
when Larry was drinking, he used to come home late and he would tell his wife he was reading to the blind nuns. You think
Yes.
she saw through that?
I don't know. I think
I would want.
I think maybe in the beginning.
Sorry, Larry, for using you as an example.
But Bub's gonna be a little upset because guess who's out here?
Oh well, he's in good hands.
This is monkey number 3.
I knew we were on 2. I didn't know we were on number 3.
Yeah, we're on number 3 because you don't want to lose monkey for.
So after the episode, the first one was left in a bathroom at the mall, we think, and some crazy lady grabbed it.
Yes.
We bought 2 replacements just in
Yes,
case. I know
just in case. So now we're down to no additional backup.
No backup
so.
monkey. Where do we assume the second one went?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh man,
So,
you better hope
it's
2 of them
either-
don't show up at once, or we're gonna have a lot of explaining.
It's either
to do.
in Daddy's truck or it's in my car.
A lot of
I don't
explaining
know.
if 2 of
Yeah.
them come on the scene at once.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna have to have that birds and the bees talk early or something. I don't know.
He did grab this one and start like sniffing its nose, and I'm
He
like,
sniffed the other one. He's like, I don't know if this
wait
is the
a
same
minute.
monkey. We're like, oh shit, he's on to us. He's on to us. Oh my
Yeah.
god, make a big fuss.
because monkey, he feeds monkey everything, so it gets to be funky,
He's
and
a funky monkey.
oh, and it sits on the floor and smells like dog. Like, always like, wait a minute, this ain't monkey.
I seen him sniffing out. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it.
Yeah, when he started sniffing
He seen
it
right
was.
through us.
And just in case you're out there, John, I just want to say happy 7 years.
Yeah, John T, friend of ours,
yes.
used to be on the show. Congratulations if you're out there sandbagging in the background.
Yes, I'm just so happy for him, and he makes it seem so easy. But he just grasped onto this recovery and has
He did, man,
done
and
a
he did
beautiful
it the
job.
hard way. And I'll tell you, he's a great example of what you can do when you embrace your recovery.
Yes,
When you take it seriously and you embrace it, you can move mountains, man. It's like
Yep.
unbelievable how far this young man has come. I mean, he's got so much going on in his life again. Things are getting better.
Yes, and I know he won't mind me sharing this. So
No, he's
because he shared it a few times on the show. But 7 years ago, I walked in Last Stop Recovery in Kensington, 9/21/16. Homeless, no money, no job, no insurance, no driver's license due to back child support, living and sleeping on a 1-inch thick mat on a concrete floor for 90 days, wondering how it came to this. The only person that helped me was the one person I didn't want help from because of my resentments, my father. Knowing how he knows how I feel, he came anyway in 20 minutes and dropped me off at the last stop. If it wasn't for him, I don't know where I'd be today, possibly dead. Boy, was I wrong about him. Don't go resenting someone or someone else's resentment toward that person. I'm living exactly in his shoes. The son becomes the father. Amazing.
That was a hard decision for his father.
Yeah,
But one his father knew had to be made.
right. Amazing how you can destroy your life overnight, but it takes years to get it back. One good thing about the mind of an addict, if you channel your addiction to something good, you can do great and wonderful things. Thanks, Dad, for sticking around long enough to help me. I owe you big. And unfortunately, he's not with us anymore, and
His father.
his father isn't with us anymore.
We lost him, it was like 2 years ago.
Probably
remember.
going on 2 years. And and resentment. I've said it before. I had resentment for my own father because of his lifestyle. And if I knew then what I know now, I know that's a song.
I hate that expression.
I know it's a song, but seriously, I didn't get the education because it was my father, and I held the resentments against him. And when it becomes, so close to you that you have to get that education and learn what it will take to make you healthy, because in the beginning it's like, I want you to tell me how to fix this, how to fix my person,
I want to fix
and
you.
find out that there's only one that can fix them, and that is themselves. But with Smart Recovery, with Balm, with Craft, I love their style because it teaches you how to not be confrontational and help guide them to see the changes that they might want to make to help the family. So it's just you need to really find what works for you. And like I say, I pull from everything. I pull from all, and I love the 12-step. It's such an easy program, and we make it so difficult because we just put too much into trying to decipher it, that we just don't let it talk to us. And I think we just kind of put it against us.
I think we spend too much time trying to make our own version
Right.
of things and trying to create a new mousetrap instead of just kind of following, you know, the suggestions and stuff all instead of trying to contour it to our own comfort status.
Yeah.
And then it just dilutes the whole process down, and it just doesn't work.
No. And that's what it, I hear it so often when I listen to speakers speak, and they're like, I tried my program. I tried my program several times, and I noticed that my program wasn't working.
Well, Larry will attest to that. I'll tell you that. He worked the program, but he did it his way, and it didn't work out for him.
Right. And then they realize that, wow, this is, a we program. And the reason they call it a we program is because we have somebody that's been already through it and gone through the steps, guiding us to, really see
I think
what the steps
we all tend to
really
think we're a
mean.
special case. We're a little different than everybody else.
Yes.
So we have to tweak this thing and do it our way, because we know best. We know ourselves best. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I don't need that. I don't need that whole God thing.
And everybody, it happens to everybody. I mean, everybody questions
Yeah.
these different styles and
that's the biggest thing is the God thing. Like the 12-step program is the God thing that sways so many people away from doing.
Yeah, well, it's really not a God thing. It's a spiritual thing.
It is. It's
But people just misread it, and they're right away take away a bad attitude about it.
Yeah.
They're immediately turned off by the God thing.
by the God thing. And whoever your God is, that's who you grasp onto.
It's a higher power. It's a spiritual thing. It's not necessarily God or whatever. You can look at it any way that you're comfortable with.
Because if you and I'll say it again, if they presented this when you first started learning in every school, the world would be such a different place that we would be living in. But
We'd be holding hands across the country and singing, "Come on, world."
no, we wouldn't. But we would be in a much happier.
Kumbaya,
better
and Michael
place.
row the boat ashore.
I think the 12-step is an amazing
Oh, it is.
tool. And for those that are, in recovery and have made it through recovery with the 12-step program, the Nar-Anon and Al-Anon also use the 12-step program to get us healthy, and know that what gets us through the next step is the support from others that have been through it. And that's the most important thing that we need people to understand. It is a we program, and it's all about support. It's all about having somebody that went through the steps, went through the program, guiding you, and taking what you feel that works for you. And if it's not working for you, then you take one of the other suggestions.
And we have awoken the Kraken.
Yes.
Larry says it's about recovery, not religion. Remember
Exactly.
that. Yep.
Exactly. It's so important to understand that. And I don't care if it's,
I always got to throw these lines in to make sure Larry's still out there and not in the kitchen making a TV dinner or
not
something.
sleeping.
I throw these zingers at them, and he always has to comment.
Yes.
I make sure he's still out there.
And I thank you, Larry, for last week.
He's our lifeline.
Yes, you did very well. I watched it the next day, and I was very proud and impressed.
Yeah,
with the show.
she graded us, Larry. We got an approval.
Yes, you did good. You didn't disappoint me. So, if I have to take another
Sabbatical.
Sabbatical. I know who to call. Not
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. So Jackson tonight is teaching me how to play, what is it, Roblox. And she has to keep carrying me because I don't know how to walk.
We had to get John over here one night for a show. We'll put him in a disguise,
Yeah,
big mask or something.
yeah,
He'll come over and talk recovery with us.
yes.
He's a smart feller, fart smeller,
A
something
fart
like
smeller.
that. Something like.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
he's a witty guy.
Yep. And I think I will be having another,
We'll have a recovery and radio show.
yes. I will have another person coming on as a guest very soon. She just got certified in Smart Recovery and she's doing really well with it. She, I was just with her the last week, not last, the other week. We did a Smart Recovery meeting and she facilitated. She co-facilitated the meeting and she did very well. So
So I'll be able to take a few nights off.
no, you'll be with
a
us.
sabbatical. I'm gonna have a sabbatical.
You can have a sabbatical whenever
I'll be
you
at the
need
buffet watching.
it. As long as I
the
have a
live
guest,
stream.
because you don't want me here by myself because
the
I
live
suck by
stream.
myself. I just stumble all over the place by myself.
But she makes a great sandwich.
I don't make
why I married her.
sandwiches. I make sandwiches.
That's why I married her.
Yes. I do pretty good at cooking.
She knows her way around the kitchen.
Yes. Now, if I had a dishwasher, I would really be doing a great
I
meals.
mean, we had one. There's no room.
I know there's no room,
We have a very humble abode.
but if we take
We
out,
have a very small home with a big ass yard.
yes,
And it's my grandmother's words. You can't live in a yard.
yes,
And we told her about that. I always remember that.
yes.
Coming from the woman who lived in South Philadelphia with a yard that was
Cement,
8 feet by 8 feet. And it was cement.
with a wall, with a
Surrounded by
cement
cinder
wall.
block wall.
Yeah.
It was like a prison cell.
Yes. Tonight, I don't know if anybody caught that sunset tonight, but that was amazing.
I did not.
was, Oh my gosh, the color was so amazing. And I was out back. I took down the pool today and I was like, oh my gosh, it was so, so beautiful.
Beautiful.
I
that's
ran in the
true.
house to get my phone to go out front to take a picture of it, and the kids tackled me and wanting pizza and wanting this, and I'm like, okay. And
My,
then
my wife has an amazing collection of photographs of clouds.
I love
And like, we'll be in a
clouds.
car. She's like, what the fuck? Like, what do you that cloud? People are looking at it, and I'm like going like this to the people. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I just clouds and
Coming out of Hobby Lobby, she one time. I just love to say that word. Coming out of Hobby Lobby, and she's taking a picture of a cloud. This nerdy couple goes, hey, what's going on? Something wrong?
yes, and there was really a scary looking cloud. And she goes, I never really noticed clouds before, but thank you because now I'll be really watching the clouds.
Well, I didn't really notice because I was braiding ribbon in the car at the time.
Yeah, yeah. He was disappointed that they didn't have hobbies in there, just crafts.
I was looking for a model of a 76 Chevy Monte Carlo. There was like no models.
No,
What kind of hobby place is that?
it's a craft place. So,
Dead air. Dead air.
okay, so John's wife is the dishwasher, he's the cook.
There you go.
I'm the dishwasher, I'm the cook. He's the eater.
I'm the tester to make sure the food is safe for
Yes.
everyone else to consume.
Yes.
I'm willing to take that chance.
Yes, and he kills me because he'll be like, "Oh my God, it was so good. I'm so stuffed. I'm gonna go sit down." 10 minutes later.
All right. No, I think Eric's making fun of him.
10 minutes later. What are you doing in the fridge? I'm just looking for a snack. You just said 5 minutes ago that you were full.
I was
You
full
were
and
stuffed
uncomfortable.
And uncomfortable. But yet he's still foraging for more food.
It's my weakness. My weak point.
Eric, I'm sorry, but I am a cloud watcher. I just find it intriguing. Tomorrow is going to be wild because some of the clouds today were pretty intense with this storm coming in.
Gosh.
So tomorrow will be some pretty wild. Although I think
I can't wait.
Jersey's supposed to get hit worse than we are. So
Well, nothing good comes from Jersey.
no. I love Jersey. I love Jersey Shore. Not the show, the actual shore.
It's going to be a great day of foraging through the fridge.
Yes, because we're not going to do anything. Our walk was canceled. Our family friend reunion with Crombar was canceled.
I'm going to order. We just got a food menu for this new place we go to called Apple Pizza. The menu has about 23,000 items on it. I had to take a break reading because my eyes were getting tired, and I had to go read the other half. And they got like all this crazy stuff. Tomorrow I think I'm getting either a chicken jerk cheesesteak or a salmon jerk cheesesteak.
Oh,
Don't ask me what.
that
but
does not
it's-
even sound
It
appetizing.
sparked my interest, and
It does
and
not
just by
sound-
chance I was talking about it, and my son goes, "Yeah, I'm going to try one of them salmon cheesesteaks." I said, 3 million things that both of us, the same thing caught our eye. So it's destiny. I got to have it.
Enjoy. I'll get a buffalo chicken
Yeah,
pizza.
whatever you like. I might have them throw some jerk season on it. I'm not going to tell you. And
No.
you'll say, "This is delicious." And I'll
No.
say, "You know why?"
Nope.
But yeah, man, anything out there, give us a call, 267-737-8031. If you have anything that's pressing that you're interested in
Yeah, these chapters
getting
are going
information
pretty
on,
quick lately.
or if you have anything you want to add, yeah, feel free to give us a call.
Yes, and if you have any ideas on other shows, other discussions we should be having, please feel free to.
Yeah, really, if you think there's a good pressing thing out there that we should touch on, we're always looking for ideas. Great.
Make sure you have extra TP.
Thank you, Larry. Larry's always looking out for us. Always. I'll make sure to load a few more rolls in the clip. It holds like 6 rolls.
Yes.
We have an awesome toilet paper dispenser in the bathroom. It's like loaded clip. Mm-hmm. You got like
And-
5 in a barrel and 1 on the hanger.
That's Jack. Lane came in the bathroom the other day and points toilet paper. Like he's going around pointing to everything in the house, and we have to say what it is so he can find.
He's
way
at that
that-
inquisitive stage.
He is. He's cracking me up. He's really cracking. And Jackson started kindergarten, and it's awesome. But the drama from kindergarten is insane.
It's so great, you raise your kids, you go through all this thing through kindergarten, and then you think it's all just memories all the time. Then you get to see it again with your grandchildren. It's great.
Yeah.
You get to relive all the first day.
Drama of kindergarten
on the bus, the first
is
day on the
killing me.
kindergarten.
Killing
Thank
me.
God she loves it. Thank God.
She does. She does love it. But they're she's just starting, so it hasn't become, grueling yet. So I'll give her a semester before she starts. Like, okay, I'm over this getting up at 7.
The novelty's worn off.
I'm done getting up at 7 in the morning. I'm ready to, move on.
They just got her into a charter school. They start even earlier.
Yes.
But there was this waiting list, and they call, of course, they call after you already start the other school. Hey, we got a slot open, You told us this 2 weeks ago.
But she's loving it. She's really
she
having
loves
a
it.
good time.
All cute in her little uniform.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, anybody having some?
Lane, I'm not looking forward to it. I know we're going to be getting calls from the school.
Oh, we're definitely going to be getting calls.
Lane is at the top of the flagpole, and he will not come down.
Yeah, I think it was day 3 for Jackson when she was like, "Yeah, the teacher told me to go to my desk," and I said, "Oh, why?" And she said, because we were on the carpet, which I know the school and I know the carpet is for reading and dissecting the book that they read. And she was busy playing rock, paper, scissors and was asked to go sit at her desk. I said, I was dying. I was like, oh my God, she is her father. I'll never forget the day he came home and he said, Mom, guess what? The teacher put my desk next to hers. And I'm like, oh, great. You're the assistant teacher, huh? Because of his talking, he just did not shut up.
Yeah, I had that slot in the classroom a few times over the years when I was younger.
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome. So, what is everybody up to in the recovery world? Are there any things happening in your area that you want to share with us so that we can share it out to other people? Just going to throw this out there. November 18th is our 3rd annual Harvest Moon Dance at Georgine's again from 7 to 11. Lar, I know you'll be there. Dancing the night away. I got the flyers yesterday. I will have tickets next week.
We got to get through the other dance first.
What dance?
Oh,
What other dance?
oh, okay, never mind.
No, November is the next dance.
Right, you're right. The Harvest Moon. And then you just
Yes.
gave me the thing about the February deal.
Yeah, February we're having the Valentine's
so
dance
lost.
as well on February 24th. And looking forward to both of those.
Really, are these
events.
dances at Georgine's? They're a really good time. You know,
Yes.
we have a really good turnout.
The
Sober
food.
event,
Yep.
and
Tickets are $40.
that includes a buffet
Yep.
and a great DJ personality.
Yes. We have.
But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have 50/50s. We have basket. Hopefully, we get baskets this year. Last dance, we really
I think everybody's getting a
struggled.
little basketed out. So much
Yeah.
going on and all. But yeah, hopefully we get a little better on the basket front. I think we're gonna start pushing them a little earlier.
I am. Already
But,
started. So
I mean, it's a great cause. I mean, any and all proceeds, profits from it go towards helping people just getting on their feet in recovery. I mean,
early recovery.
early recovery, helping them out however they can.
When they do speaking, what are they? Speaking events. After the events, when they come out, they come out with their AA book, their Alcoholics Anonymous book, or Narcotics Anonymous, whatever anonymous you follow. And there's so much more literature that can help you through your recovery process that they hand out to those who are coming out, getting ready to come out of recovery, that helps them. And they're so grateful for these books.
And a lot of work goes into these dances. Not a huge profit is turned on them. Let me tell you, so that the prices are very low for food and everything. But it's meant to be that way. We're just trying to, like Lori said, just buy some simple things and all for people just getting on their feet in recovery, whether it be big books or this, that, whatever books or whatever literature they need, and different things.
There's so many good books, so many good tools out there that can help you stay grounded and help you stay focused on your recovery.
Yeah, but the main focus and purpose of the dance is to get everyone out together and networking together
Yes.
in a fun, sober event. That's the
Yes.
main purpose of the dance. Mm-hmm. Any profit, that is just perks.
Yes, we used to have them for the alumni dances, and they didn't charge anything but $5. But we didn't have to pay for the room, and everybody brought the food. So it was just a
It
gathering.
was like a potluck dance, dinner
Yeah.
dance all the time. It was good, but we didn't get the crowds that we have
No.
now. Now it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's
And I
like a
think,
wedding without the bride.
yes, and it's really cool because it's alcohol free and drug free, and everybody has a blast. It's if you are early in recovery, and you're like, this just isn't fun. Like, I can't go out and do what I used to. Well, here's an event that can make such a great time.
It is, and it's really great to see people really new in the recovery,
Mm-hmm.
seeing other folks having a really good time without alcohol in the
Yes.
equation, and without any temptation of alcohol. Where like you're not like at a wedding where everybody at your table is hammered,
Yes,
and you're like sitting there like I can just crawling, just wanting to get out of there.
it's such
It's
a good
not
time.
like that. It is. It's you're at ease. You're having a good time, and I just can't say enough about it.
But and the premise was created when we were just coming off of COVID, and we're like, you know what, we haven't had a dance in so long.
And I can't remember how many I've done with them. A lot.
Yeah, so it was just funny because a friend of ours, Irvin, who was just here recently, was heading to Vegas to start his new journey in life, and we were at his going away dinner, and it was me. I said, we haven't had a dance in so long. We need to get back to that now that COVID was lifted and people were going out, and that's all I needed to say. And Kathy just ran with it, and she instead of doing it, we used to do it at the seniors center, and
But the smell of Bengay was just overwhelming.
but
but
they
my sinuses are always clear.
they would give us the room for free because we would go, and I didn't go because it was usually, I always had something going on, but the alumni would go out and they would do the weeding, and they would do some landscaping for them once spring turned into, or winter turned into spring, and they would clear up the property so that they would allow them to have the dance for free. So it was minimal charge, and it went to the alumni, and then Kathy was like, you know what, let's do a dance. The next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call. Listen, we're having a dance at Georgine's, and we're gonna have to charge a lot more than we did when we had it at the senior center, but the food is amazing.
Food's amazing, and
Georgine's
we don't have
is
to tell you
amazing.
that the price of food has went up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they raised the ticket price by $5. I mean, it used to be
Yeah,
35.
it was 35.
Last one went up to 40 because they raised their price. The venue did.
Yes. So, but it's a great time. We have so much fun. We have the backdrop to take photos at. We have such good food, and everybody just comes together and just has a great time.
You see they say old friends they haven't seen for a while. They're at, through their trip through recovery, and they'll have like that. Our good friend John Crombar will get up there and say, try to find out who's the longest one in recovery. So they got people like 37 years, 47. Then we go all the way down to, all right, who's got like 1 day sober? They're like all the way down to the
1
person's
hour.
like in their first week, And it's just so great to see the whole room. I mean, they all feel part because everybody's got a time when they can raise their hand,
Yeah.
You got like almost 200 people sometimes in there. It's cool.
It's really cool. And if anybody wants to sponsor a table, let me know. Table for 10.
Or a
me
basket.
up.
Or a basket.
Yeah, we are
Everything but a basket of cheer. Please, no basket
no baskets
of
of
cheer.
cheer. And we are hoping to get some baskets so that we can do a little bit more for those that are coming out of early recovery. So
So look at the time.
consider that too. Just give me a call at 267-737-8031. If you can't make the dance but want to help in some way, you can purchase a ticket for somebody coming out of recovery that can't afford to go, because recovery houses are not cheap and they usually don't have a job in the beginning. So with that being said, everybody, if you want to help in some way, give me a call. And it's Friday night and it's 10:30.
30 people.
It flew by. So everybody have a great week.
Have a
If
great
you are
weekend,
struggling, please call me. You're not alone. I'm here to listen and, share my experiences with you. So everybody have a great week. We'll see you next Friday.
Yeah, and remember, from me and Mr. Monkey, recovery works if you work it.
Peace out, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Love you guys. Be safe.
Are those live rounds?